Paranoid itself, as I said, gave them actually their first hit single, and to some degree kind of their only hit single. And if anything, it was the period where bands didn't actually think it was cool to have a hit single. It gave them a much, not so much a broader audience, but a much younger audience of teeny boppers, which wasn't the kind of crowd that Sabbath had been used to playing at.
I'd hazard to guess that Paranoid is actually the first Sabbath track that most people have heard. Certainly the first one they remembered, certainly, you know. I mean, it's actually it's kind of a dead simple song, you know, but it's just like it's so driving and emblematic of the time that Black Sabbath were living in.
You know, in those days as well, I guess people like smoking pot and stuff and going to blues clubs, whatever they were doing, and, you know, I think they just picked up on a word like paranoid. They're just general things that everyone who was young and going out and getting into music and just living their lives as a teenager or as a youth, you know, there was those feelings of dread and paranoia, I suppose. Every morning you woke up probably, and then it just exaggerates into something that could actually lead to like a total breakdown.
We were not per se a satanic band in the sense that everything was a tribute to Satan, and it was nothing like that. It was a band that was of the time, and time itself has proved that it's still of the time, even now. It was just for pretty angry young guys, really, asking a whole lot of questions about a whole lot of stuff.
The album was originally going to be called War Pigs, which came actually from the word Walpurgis, which is a pagan festival. Apparently the record label in America, which is Warner Brothers, rejected this. The Vietnam War was on at the time, and maybe War Pigs was considered somewhat negative as a title.
It always surprises me. Paranoid itself as a word is a bit negative, isn't it? But they were happy for Paranoid to be the title of the album. And of course then it became a massive hit.
I think one of the things that's captured in Paranoid is the fact that Black Sabbath was a live band, and in a live setting. I think that that's one of the things that shows up on the record. It's very raw, and it's coming right from a live situation. It's been recorded, and then we left and went straight back on the road. There was no, just like, here we come, into the studios, through the studios, at the other side of the studios, and back on the road. And so, that's what you're hearing.
Well, there's the thing, it's like, I do get the definite sense that when Sabbath recorded records, they went in because they wanted to hear those sounds themselves, because they were trying to get something out of themselves. You know, they were kind of achieving some kind of catharsis by writing those sorts of songs and playing them the way they did, because they actually had demons that they actually wanted to exercise, you know.
One of the most controversial lines, I want you to enjoy life. Endure or enjoy? And of course, so many problems over the years of people believing that Sabbath were actually going out there trying to persuade people to commit suicide, celebrating suicide. Nonsense. They weren't about that sort of thing, as Jerry said.
As I said, there are idiots everywhere.
Yes, Jerry said they're about celebrating life. They wanted people to enjoy life. And that's the bottom line with Sabbath, is I think they wanted everyone to enjoy what they did, get into what they did. And ultimately, of course, everybody did.
It was loud, and it made loud statements. And it was aggressive, and it made aggressive statements. And I think those people that could hear that, they got it, and they loved it.